Hello, beautiful Virgos. Welcome to your monthly prediction for July 2020. If this is your first time in this channel, my name is Sabine. Nice to meet you. And this is the Timeless Flux channel, okay? And I'm going to explain to you how this reading is going to go. In this first roll of cards, I have upcoming energies and energies that are leaving your life in this transition from June to July. And in the second roll, I have more specific, pragmatic, day-to-day considerations that will show me how these energies are going to actually be presented in your life in July, okay? I also have two cards from two different oracles, the Timeless Flux Oracle that names this channel, and a card from the Messages from the Universe Oracle, okay? And I want to tell you before we go on, oh, my crystals are falling. This is Mercury retrograde for sure. And if I stutter too, please forgive me. Mercury retrograde influencing our lives. But this oracle here is the Sun Oracle. It's an Inca oracle and it's called the Tata Inti Oracle in a local language. Okay, so I'm going to work this dice for you at the end of this reading so that we can answer yes, no, maybe questions. So stay tuned and think about your question. If we are, oh, let me get the crystal here. The crystals are energizing the dice, okay? So, but they are falling. So let's move on to your reading here. I have some Palo Santo burning on the side to see the energies that you're leaving behind and energies that are coming, entering your life this next July. Okay, so I have the Queen of Swords, the Seven of Cups upright. I have the Seven of Wands in reverse, okay? And I have the Page of Swords upright. Okay, so this is a very interesting moment in your life. I see you here as the Queen of Swords. So you're trying to implement some order to your thought process. Because I see that in the past, with this Seven of Cups here, you had maybe even an overwhelming amount of possibilities, of passions to choose from. And now you're starting to see that these many possibilities are actually a blessing, but you cannot pursue all of them at the same time. And I see that you left the idea that it's very interesting because we have two sevens here, okay, but cups and wands. So in the past, I see that there's many different possibilities of actions that could be represented by many different projects, or maybe more than one option in relationships, in romantic partnerships. This could also talk about many different offers, money offers, material offers, many different friendships. I see that in the past, you tried to deal with them all. You tried to do them all, and you tried to be your best version while, investing energy in all of them at the same time. And because, of course, it is impossible for us to invest the same amount of energy in many different occupations or stances in our lives at the same time, you kind of felt a little bit not only overwhelmed, but as if you had to stand your ground too aggressively, as if the world, the universe was somehow telling you that you needed to account for all of these activities, but because of the interference of other people and because the conditions were never right, you couldn't do it. Now you are starting to understand that it is your responsibility to organize a routine that works for you, and that the universe has no role whatsoever in making your life more difficult than and it already is. But of course, you have some kind of limitation, which is human and it's normal when you try to embrace too much. So right now you're starting a process of thinking what should be kept in your life and what should leave your life, and you're leaving behind, as we enter July, this energy of well, I could do it all. It's just that the universe is not helping me. It's just that I'm not protected. It's just that the conditions are never right. You're leaving this anxious state and trying to understand what is the idea or what is the endeavor that can really bring fulfillment, satisfaction, and that you would feel more comfortable dedicating to. Okay, but this is still an experimental process. Maybe I see that for most of you, you don't know the answer yet to which activity or activities should be the focus of your life, but you're searching from it, and it's very, you're searching for them, and it's very positive that you do not feel as attacked by the universe and by other people as you once felt. Okay, so these are the energies moving to July. I want to bring these oracles here because this oracle in particular is talking about some kind of work you need to do. You see there's the representation of a plow here. Some kind of work you need to do that is not at its best moment right now. You feel it's not developing, it's not moving forward. And I want to see what they're talking about. Okay, this is very related to what I was discussing with the tarot. This card is called News, and the sentence goes, the universe sends signs and I inform myself. So you see there's this person reading a newspaper, and then you can imagine that this newspaper is like the news, it's like universal news. Okay, and you're trying to get informed, but this is in reverse. So I see that it complements what we were talking about. It's like for in the month of July and maybe even a little bit of the month of May, this past 2 months, couple of months, you've been trying to embrace too much because you saw a sign in everything. Okay, if this is in my life, then I should pursue it, and it's gotten kind of crowded over there. Okay, too many things to do, too many things to pay attention to, and too much to put your energy in, and now you're kind of leaving. Well, you wanted to do it all, so you even felt sometimes that it was like questioning the universe. Why is it that you're bringing so much to my plate if I don't have the energy to pursue it all? I don't want to leave my ideas as if ideas were babies behind, okay? Or I don't want to leave these different possibilities of relationships behind. I don't want to abandon anything. And then you're in July, at the end of July, you realize that ideas worth pursuing are ideas that make you really passionate, and that even the sign that the universe has gotten your back, the sign that the universe sends to indicate, okay, this is something worth pursuing. This sign is always accompanied with a lot of inspiration, a lot of fun, you know. So this is going to become your filter when you decide what needs to stay and what needs to go in your life. Okay, the other card I have here from the Universal Oracle is I am the dreamer of my dream. Okay, and this is an amazing message for this context because it's talking about your actual manifestation power. okay? If you dedicate to too much, but you're not sure about which endeavor to follow or put more energy into, then you lose the perspective that you are the dreamer of your dream, that in the end you are responsible for every manifestation in your life. And you can always change your mind. You can always decide, I'm going to focus on work a little more, and even more specifically on this special project at work that's really calling to my heart. And then you can change your mind and do something different if it's not working. But you need to decide which dream is going to be your main focus at each stage of your life, and avoid this feeling of being overcrowded, overwhelmed with too many possibilities, because this is also a part of learning how to be responsible for the results you aim at achieving. Okay, now let's see how this is going to go in your everyday life, okay, for this month of July. How this is going to develop. Okay, so I have the Miser card here. I have the Fool in reverse, comparison, and schizophrenia. Okay, nothing related to the mental condition. Okay, so what I see here is that this month of July is going to be all about living and let live, and also letting go of your attachment to your own endeavors, okay? In order to focus on one main idea that makes you inspired at the end of the month, you will need, or one main area of your life, one main relationship, you will need to let go of your attachment to everything that you own or dedicate to right now. It's something like, it's as if you saw your life as a CV, okay? In a sense, it's only a metaphor, of course, but I think it gets the point across. So it's like you saw your life as a CV, so the more you do, the more you have on your CV. And it's about leaving this attitude behind and understanding that quality is also important, not only quantity. So only if you understand, and this is going to be the focus in the month of July, only when you understand that you need to let go of some things in order to have more quality time while developing other things, only when you understand that, you'll be able to reach a state in which you know exactly what you want to do, and this makes you feel inspired and you know, and enter a state of having real fun. Okay, July is not going to be about adopting reckless attitudes, because I see that sometimes people get confused about this. Let go of things and focus on what your heart is asking you to focus on. They sometimes mistake this attitude, which is very healthy and very mature, with an attitude of recklessness. Okay, so this is not about leaving your job if your job is responsible for paying your bills right now. This is not about you know, not dedicating to your studies just because they are not as interesting as they used to be. But this is about understanding that things that are harder, or that are not paying off, or that are not that are necessary evils in a sense, these things do not need to have the whole of your attention. Or and also understanding that you don't need to, it is virtually impossible to dedicate the same amount of energy and attention to every and each thing you have going on in your life right now. So this is about prioritizing, okay? It's not about being reckless, but about prioritizing. Maybe you have to do the worst subjects ever this semester, this upcoming semester, and it's just mandatory. It's not something that's even going to be useful to your occupation in the future, okay? Let's say you're in college. So maybe this is a time to relax a little bit when it comes to studies and to your performance at the university, because you know the subjects are not as important as other subjects would be, or maybe even studying in parallel the things that are really going to bring you value when it comes to building your life, your occupation. At work, this is about recognizing that there are things that really speak to your heart and that you really believe in, but it's very hard to find a situation in which everything you need to do for your job is going to be important to the level of extremes. So it's about understanding that maybe you can focus a little bit more on the project that speaks to your heart, that sounds true to yourself, and that's going to add value to your life, and a little less in projects that are more, mechanical and that do not bring you as much value. Okay, the piece of advice I have for you is stop comparing yourself, your life, and your values, your choices to the choices of other people. Okay, because there's always this effect. I know it's really, everybody talks about this and it doesn't sound new at all, but in your case, I think it's important to say this again. The Instagram social media effect. Remember that in social media, everyone is posting the best version of themselves all the time. So they seem to be the most efficient, the most controlled, the most everything, So you really need to stop comparing yourself, not only in social media, but in life in general. You need to stop comparing your flaws, the moments, your insecurities, and your results in general to the results you see in social media, or to the results people talk about at work, and even regarding relationships, because this is going to help you become independent in your process of choice making. Okay, in order to choose among these many different possibilities without feeling that you're missing out, you will need to be more in tune with yourself, and to be less afraid of letting go of things that are not adding value to your life simply because they are a part of a virtual CV or something like that. And you will need to stop, and it's going to be important in this process, to stop looking at what other people are doing, observing, and comparing to your own life. Okay, so as a conclusion, I have this schizophrenia card in reverse, and this card talks about trying to balance your act between opposing views of the world, or opposing activities that are very hard to bring together. Okay, and the conclusion is you don't want to do that anymore. Okay, you want to be the dreamer of your dream. You are the only person, this is something important to consider, you are the only person who can dream and implement your dream. But first of all, you need to recognize what truly is your dream, and how many things are in your life right now just because other people said so, or even better in your case, just because you thought that you could do it all. You could do the things that you love the most, and the things that bring more value to your life, and also the things that are not so important, but you could be the person to bridge this gap between opposing things here. The month of July is about avoiding better yet understanding that this is not your role. Okay, all of your levels of organization, energy, etc. need to be invested in things that are actually good for you and close to your essence. Okay, at the end of the month, I see that you have a higher understanding about what those things, relationships and tasks really are, but you need to go through this process here in July. So lots of learning for you. I hope you already have your yes, no, maybe question, because I'm going to work this dice here to give you a yes, no, probably yes, probably no answer. Okay, related to the month of July and to this game. Okay, so ask your question, let's go. This is a probable yes. Okay. This is a probable yes. It's not yet set in stone because I also have this figure here, upright. Okay, so there are still some things that could get in the way of your yes, is what I see. And as I've said to other signs, in this yes, no, maybe reading related to your prediction, it's probably going to be, it's probably going to get closer to a yes if you work these issues we've been commenting on out, okay? If you get a more independent perspective on your process of decision making, if you avoid just trying to fill your life with activities because quantity is always more important than quality, okay? If you really respect your quality time and prioritize the level of energy you're going to dedicate to each task according to what speaks true to your heart. Okay, so it's a lot to ask, I know, but I see you here at the end of the month having faced it all and coming out of this process victorious, okay? If the more energy you put into that, the more probable your yes is, okay? So I hope you have enjoyed this reading. If you have, please leave a like, comment, share, subscribe to receive other videos here from the channel. It helps my work a lot, you cannot even imagine. And I would love to hear in the comments about the specificities of this situation for each of my Virgos, if you have resonated with what I said and what kind of choices you're trying to make in your life right now, because I really see that at the end of July it will become much more clearer for you what choices speak true to your heart. So let me know, and maybe I can even help you a little bit more in the comment section. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful July with lots of learning and energy moving. And I'll see you in the next video, hopefully. Bye-bye.